Just a moment of excessive speeding or reversing without proper attention can leave your car severely damaged, with dents, deformations, and scratches all over. This attrage was involved in a serious traffic accident, resulting in severe damage to the front end. The windshield was shattered. The hood was dented and could no longer be opened or closed, and the front bumper on the driver's side was torn and heavily cracked. The repair car accident process involves 4 main steps. Let's begin with step 1. First, proceed to repair the hood latch. Use a screwdriver or a wrench to loosen the latch retaining bolts. Adjust the latch position so that it aligns perfectly with the striker on the hood. Tighten the bolts after making the adjustment. Ensure that the latch engages securely when the hood is closed. If the latch is misaligned to one side, use a hammer to realign it properly. After repairing the hood latch, proceed to staple weld the tears on the vehicle's front bumper. Select the appropriate type of staple and insert it into the welding gun. Activate the plastic stapler to heat the metal staple. Press the heated staple into the tear so that it embeds securely into the plastic. Ensure the staple does not penetrate too deeply, just enough to hold both edges of the plastic together. Wait a few seconds for the plastic to cool and the staple to set firmly. Continue placing staples along the tear, maintaining a 1 to 2 centimeter gap between each. For larger tears, additional staples can be applied on the reverse side to enhance structural strength. After completing the staple welding, proceed with surface reinforcement to ensure greater structural integrity. Evenly heat a metal rod until it reaches the appropriate softening temperature for the material, typically around 200 to 300 degrees Celsius, depending on whether it's plastic or metal. For safety, test the rod's temperature on a scrap piece before applying it to the actual part. Using light and consistent pressure, glide the heated rod along the staple weld lines to flatten the surface and fuse the surrounding material for added strength. Use scissors or specialized cutting pliers to remove any excess metal staples protruding from the surface. Cut as close to the plastic surface as possible, avoiding any sharp edges. After completing the staple welding, proceed to grind down any sharp or uneven areas on the bumper surface. Attach a wire grinding wheel to the angle grinder, ensuring it is securely fastened. Test the tool by running it for 5 to 10 seconds to check for abnormal vibrations or noises. Turn on the grinder and gently bring the wire wheel into contact with the welded area. Apply moderate pressure. Do not press too hard to avoid damaging the surface or losing control of the tool. Move the grinder in a horizontal direction or small circular motions to achieve an even surface. Maintain a consistent grinding speed to prevent excessive heat buildup, which could deform the plastic or burn the wire wheel. Pause every few minutes to inspect the surface for flatness and smoothness. Wipe away metal dust using a cloth or compressed air for better visibility. Proceed to the surface smoothing step using a grinder equipped with sandpaper. Select the appropriate grit sandpaper and securely attach it to the sander. Ensure the sanding disc is firmly mounted before operation. Turn on the tool and hold it at an angle of approximately 10 to 15 degrees to the surface. Move the sander in consistent horizontal or circular motions, avoiding prolonged contact at any single spot to prevent surface damage. Continue sanding until deep scratches or major surface irregularities are removed and the area becomes smooth. Pause periodically to inspect the surface. Wipe off sanding dust with a cloth and identify any spots that may require further refinement. Next, proceed to the body filler application step, puttying, to prepare the surface for painting. Mix body filler, putty, with hardener according to the recommended ratio. Then apply it to the damaged areas. Typically, 3 to 4 layers of filler are needed, starting with a thin initial layer pressed firmly to ensure proper adhesion. Additional layers are applied to fully fill the damaged sections. Spread the filler using a putty knife in horizontal or vertical strokes with moderate pressure, ensuring the material fills all holes and dents. Keep the filler layer thin and even, ideally no thicker than 1 to 2 millimeters, to reduce sanding effort later. The curing time usually ranges from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the type of filler and ambient temperature. Once dry, the surface should be smooth, clean, and ready for primer application. Once the body filler has cured, proceed to sand the surface. Use a sanding machine or sand by hand to remove excess filler and level out uneven areas. Sand in horizontal or vertical strokes, applying consistent pressure to avoid creating low spots. Use light sanding to preserve body lines and prevent over-thinning. This process smooths and evens out the filler surface, eliminating high spots and preparing the panel for painting. During the filling stage, some areas may have received thicker applications. Sanding helps remove excess material and ensures the final coating has a uniform thickness. After sanding, wipe off the filler dust with a cloth to clearly inspect the surface. After dry sanding, proceed to wet sanding. Wet sanding further smooths the surface, removes any remaining scratches, and prepares it for primer application. Soak the sandpaper in a bucket of water to keep it consistently wet during the process. This also helps flush away dust left over from dry sanding, preventing it from interfering with the finish. Sand gently, ensuring both the sandpaper and the surface remain moist at all times. Use steady, even motions and avoid staying too long in one spot to prevent oversanding or surface distortion. Before proceeding with the paint spraying process, mask off the areas that do not require painting using plastic sheeting and newspaper. Make sure all masking materials are securely taped and sealed to prevent overspray from entering any gaps. If any uncovered or poorly sealed sections are found, adjust the plastic or newspaper and apply additional masking tape to ensure complete and secure coverage. Next comes the most critical step, applying the paint. Mix the white base coat with the appropriate ratio of thinner and hardener to ensure proper viscosity for smooth and even spraying without runs. Spray the first layer of white paint onto the surface, maintaining a consistent distance of 15 to 20 centimeters between the spray gun and the vehicle. Move the spray gun in horizontal or vertical passes, avoiding staying in one spot to prevent paint buildup. Wait approximately 10 to 15 minutes for the first coat to dry. Drying time may vary depending on the type of paint and environmental conditions. Repeat the process for 2 to 3 additional coats to ensure full and even coverage. Each layer must be applied evenly and consistently, avoiding excessive buildup that may cause runs or sagging. Ensure full coverage without exposing the underlying surface. After the base coat has fully dried, apply a clear coat to add gloss and protect the underlying paint layer. Spray a thin, even tack coat to ensure proper adhesion and avoid runs. Then, apply the clear coat evenly and consistently, making sure to cover the entire surface. Avoid excessive application to prevent sagging, runs, or surface waviness. Infrared heat lamps are used to accelerate the drying time of the paint, making the refinishing process faster and more efficient. The final step is polishing using 3M paste rubbing compound. Use an applicator pad or brush to apply an adequate amount of the compound onto the vehicle surface. Start the polishing machine at a low speed and begin buffing. Use a crosshatch or X-pattern motion to ensure even distribution of the compound. Gradually increase the speed as you become comfortable handling the machine. Keep the polisher in continuous motion to evenly spread the compound and avoid overheating or damaging the paint. Avoid holding the buffer in one spot for too long. Check the polishing result after each small section to ensure the desired gloss and clarity are achieved. Polishing helps eliminate fine dust nibs, light orange peel, or minor paint runs formed during the painting process. The 3M polishing compound contains ultra-fine abrasive particles that level the surface without harming the paint layer. The first polishing stage is typically used to correct major imperfections and prepare the surface for a second stage polish or final finishing for optimal gloss and smoothness. first stage polishing, proceed with the second stage polishing using Platinum Final Finish compound. A finishing compound like Platinum Final Finish helps achieve maximum gloss and depth in the paintwork. Two-stage polishing ensures the highest level of surface refinement, enhancing the vehicle's visual appeal and providing long-term protection for the paint. This is an essential finishing step to achieve the highest quality standards in automotive detailing. After completing the full 4-step repair and refinishing process, the vehicle has been restored to a like-new appearance. Finally, we thoroughly wash the entire car and perform a final inspection to ensure everything is properly finished before handing it back to the customer. This is the result after completing the accident repair and restoration of the vehicle. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every